ready.
Hello everybody, I'm Drewby and welcome to part 7 of Final Fantasy XIII Randomizer. This one is going to be a nightmare. There's a good reason why I called this the 20-minute nightmare, and you guys will see why here in a minute. But let's get to it. Alright, so before anything, as soon as I get into this fight, and I'll explain more once we get into the fight, wait on getting into this fight until you see my accessories, because it's very, very, very important. That is for upgrading weapons. That's for when you get to a final tier as well, and then you can upgrade to a new tier. But yeah, just keep watch of what I have before doing anything, which will come right up here. Now this fight, I'm not gonna lie, it took over 20 minutes, or it took, I think, about almost 21 minutes, and this was the only option that I had in order to fight him. There's numerous times when I've played Randomizer and I've gotten to this point and it's become so stressful with this fight because you only have so many options. And I didn't do any grinding in this part whatsoever. So at the start, kind of like before with Snow and the Eidolon, for the Eidolon fight, do not use any potions in this fight. This fight is scripted, and once Hope loses all of his health, it'll move on to the next team. So either you don't really have to do anything and keep getting hit by him, or you can just throw fire. It's not going to do anything really, as you see. Probably could have used Viagra on him, and seen what that would have done, but I don't think you can really do anything anyway. But yeah, here's a trick with this fight though. As soon as the next fight starts, retry the fight, and when you retry the fight, you'll get put into your menu right here, and then you'll be able to do all your setups, all your Paragon setups, and then you'll be able to equip what you need to equip on everybody. So as you see, I got Silver Bangle upgraded to the max, Lightning's to 12. Fangs to 12, or to 20, Fangs to 12, and then Hope to 8 with the Bangle, full Bangle. Now, this fight is pretty much, let's say, about 95% intense and 2 different types of medics, which would be Hope and Lightning. Yeah, you're going to be pretty much staying in medic a lot of these times. Preservage, and, got the other name, I'll see it here in a minute. But what I'm trying to do is use Impale on him because it'll do a little bit more damage. And at the same time, I'm using Lightning and Hope to do the healing, because those attacks that he sends out, he spams those attacks like crazy. And then when I do get a small window of an opportunity, I'll switch over to Tireless Charge and try to do some damage to him there, which gives me 1 healer, but it's not as good right now. So that's why you see me switch to at least 2 healers, and then Commando, Deception here. And then I'll use Fang to do the 3rd healing by throwing out the potions. But that's basically what this was I had to use potions in this fight, a lot of potions in this fight, and then I'm pretty much keeping Hope and Lightning as healers. So this is exactly why this is a 20-minute nightmare. This took me 20 minutes to do. But when you do get a small window of opportunity, you do want to switch to the 2 Ravengers and a Commando to kind of build up his stagger gauge. And then once you get him into a stagger, then you'll be able to switch to 2 Commandos and the Ravengers. But yeah, you want to wait until their health is pretty much full before switching over to any attack phase. But like I said, you're going to be pretty much stuck in 2 healers and a Commando. And then I use Saboteur and two healers, two medics to at least try to get impale on him. I've gotten real close to dying in this fight too. Oh yeah, also I did have Synergist with Hope as well, which was able to give me uh, some upgrading magic. It'll help with the magic a little bit. I would use that too if you have any Synergist moves. I would use that as well. But chances are you're probably not going to have much anyway. Another thing that really sucks about this fight is that you're Fang, so you don't have any Eidolons on your side, which probably would have been useful too.
Thank you.
But that is pretty much this whole fight really. Make sure to keep the party members healed and to keep attacking with Fang. Use any Saboteur moves. And the reason why I didn't really bring up Synergist too much was because it's kind of hard to navigate through Synergist because of him doing so much damage. That rotating back and forth between roles is kind of hard to pull off here to an extent because as you see he's doing so much moves like that. Plus, you know, the only thing I had really with Hope was Shell, and then the little magic upgrade that I had. But if you can find a window and switch over to Synergist and shield and try to get some buffs with that, then you could do that. If you have Protect, I would probably try to use that as quickly as possible. Another thing is with the shrouds, of course, like I said before with the two-phase fight. You know, if it went straight into Lightning and Fang coming in to help Hope without having Hope fight, then you would be able to use shrouds. But seeing it started off with Hope, if you would have used shrouds, it would have been useless.
Thank you. Don't get predictable.
But pretty much this fight will be the most difficult fight of the whole game. Maybe Bartang was too to be somewhat extreme. When I fought him in the original version, he was a bit difficult to beat. I actually don't know exactly what rule group he used against him. In Randomizer, I'm kind of, I wouldn't say OP, but I have enough to at least stay alive and to deal a lot of damage on him. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Literally, because we'll be fighting on the bridge. But yeah, that's everything with this fight. Try to stay alive as much as you can. It can be a little bit overwhelming. I mean, I'd say if you need a break, I would just pause the game, take a breather, and then come back to it. If it does become too overwhelming. Another thing you can do is upgrade your weapons as much as you can. If you have to do a lot of grinding in the last area, which you can, I can go over that real quick. In that area where the save point was, the first save point was, if you go out to that save point and go up to the first enemy where you found that first treasure, kill those enemies, go back to the save point, and then move a little bit back and look on your map, the enemies will always respawn. Keep going back and forth there and do some grinding there. But as you see, I finally got him to a stagger. I was able to do some damage too. Real quick, while he is airborne, you can switch to a Saboteur and do some debuffing on him at the same time. I didn't want to risk it because he was airborne, and if he drops down and gets any momentum whatsoever, he'll pretty much kill us. And you'll see what I mean by momentum later when the fight good. But even though I got him into a stagger, it still didn't last that long. But also, you know, in the randomizer, what I was talking about that grinding area, depending on the drop, if they are dropping, say, stuff to help you upgrade your weapons, then you can farm back and forth. But they're really not dropping anything, then, yeah, there's nothing you can really do. If you somehow do find a catalog of any sort, like a private catalog or catalog, if you read the description, it will tell you at the very top when you're looking at the item. If you find any of that, equip that while grinding, because it will increase your chances of getting dropped. I didn't have one, that's why I didn't use it. But actually here soon, he will switch to, I think once his health gets down about halfway, he actually will switch to another phase. And then he'll start using the beams, these beam attacks. Which I think they're not as bad as these lasers that are shooting at us. But they are pretty bad. If you ask me which ones, yeah, right here, like this move like this. Yeah, he was able, okay, it was a little bit, so as soon as you see the health switch there, he's going to start switching to a different phase. But yeah, if you ask me what's more devastating, those laser range or that beam that he shoots out, the laser range is a lot. But now I'm starting to find a little bit of a window, so yeah, that's why I switched to Relentless Assault. Try to do some damage there. But you only got like about a second or two. As you see how much health Fang lost there. Now it's pretty much Fang taking a lot of this damage. Go figure, when you're using. But we are close to putting him into another stagger. Once I find another window, I'll be able to switch to like Relentless Assault. Yeah, okay, I do it right here. Because I'm going to try to push him to stagger as quickly as possible. And then Tireless Charge. Do we think health. And as you saw, I was trying to get him launched with lightning, but lightning wasn't able to do it. Sometimes launch will fail during boss fights. So my only option here was to switch to as much healing as possible before switching to tireless charge and try to do as much attack to him as possible. Plus, I was also trying to get him impaled so I could do a lot more damage to him. Yeah, that's the bad part about launch. It does have a chance of failing. But it more happens during boss fights than it does anywhere else.
Thank you.
In the vanilla version, I believe Fang is supposed to have launch at this point too. I think Fang, Snow, and Lightning all three have launch. But in this version right now, Lightning is the only one that has it. So far. But yeah, this fight wouldn't have been so long, but like I said, there wasn't much that I could work with, really. I tried to upgrade the weapons as high as I possibly could. I had to use everything that I had. The accessories. That's why I was talking about earlier, about taking the accessories off of Saz and Vanille. I had to do it for this fight coming up right after this. Another thing that you could possibly do, but you're risking not doing too much damage on him at this point. You could probably put a lot of HP on everybody, but like I said, that tanks the damage real bad. But on the bright side, you do stay alive a little bit longer. If I would have been able to keep Fang pretty much healed all the way, that would have been my opportunity to switch to the two Commandos and the Ravager. Two Ravengers and the Commandos. Yeah, Relentless Assault. Yeah. That's what I was hoping on, was to keep Fang pretty much healed. As you see, he is still using those laser rings, but they're not as bad as they were at the beginning.
Appreciate it.
That's why I was talking about with Hope and Snow earlier. This guy was going to be such a pain in the ass to deal with. I'll tell you what, this fight will make the next boss fight like a walk in the park, which will come up in this part as well. That one wasn't frustrating to deal with at all. But luckily I was able to get him to a stagger there. Although I did risk Hope. That was the only bad part. I risked Hope he died, but I did use Phoenix down on him.
Time for a change.
I was not. Oh no, I used Renewal. That's right. Yeah, Fang does have Renewal, but as you see there, it took 3. That's why I did not use. That's why I didn't bring it up, because the TP is also randomized as well. So when Fang uses Renewal, it'll only use. It'll use 3, and that'll be the only chance in a fight that you'll be able to use it. But that's what I was waiting on, was for somebody to fall before using Renewal.
Try this on for
That does bring up a point though. If you're on a randomizer and say your Renewal only costs 1, then yeah, I'd be using that a lot too. But like I said, that's the reason why I didn't bring it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had to use Phoenix down there. That would have been a good time to switch to Relentless Assault, but yeah, until you had to do a move like that.
Appreciate it.
But once I was able to get him into a stagger, then I was able to beat him, to finish him off right here. As you see, his health is pretty much almost gone.
Don't wanna lose, do ya? Thank you. Cheers. Don't get predictable.
And then I had to use another Phoenix down on Hope. As long as Fang doesn't fall, then we'll be alright. See, I got a little scared there because I was too busy using potions on everybody. And I kind of let his stagger gauge drop a little bit. And I see it's still dropping. So I had to hurry up and I risked it right here and started going to Relentless Assault. That way I could do something. And then I had to switch back. You see, that's what I was talking about. You only got a window of a few seconds to use that.
Appreciate it. Don't sweat it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, as the stagger was getting closer to reaching its max, that's when I started risking it just a little bit more.
Don't want to lose, do ya?
But as you see, we almost got him. We almost got him. And we got him.
Don't get predictable.
It should be able to finish him off. Do a little bit of healing just in case, but pretty much aggression. And it should be able to get him right here.
Try this on for size.
And then I decided to try to see if I can impale him real quick just to do a little bit more damage. Which I think that really did help too, because it did help to finish him off. As you see, we finally got him right here. So yeah, that was the 20-minute nightmare. 20 minutes and 57 seconds. And I got a sorcerer's mark, and I didn't quite see what the other one was. So yeah, my hands were shaking right after that fight, and I was like, okay, it's time to save and take a little bit of a break. But if you have to go through stuff like that, if you have to go through that as well, then you'll probably want to take a break too. So just come over here to the TV afterwards, activate it, and then you go through a couple cutscenes and be forced to do another fight. That's why I keep saying, like, take a break, because you, right after the cutscenes, you'll be forced into this fight right here. It's not bad. It's not. I mean, you can just stick into it. You can just stick with aggression and pretty much finish them off that way. But after all that you just went through, yeah. So yeah, I decided to do the second boss fight in this part as well, because it was not nearly as bad as fighting that last boss.
You're gonna swerve.
But before you go into that boss fight, there are 2 treasures that we can get here. You'll have to do a couple of random battles.
We barricade ourselves in.
So after killing those enemies there, we got Cactar Dolls. Do not use those to upgrade weapons. Those you can actually use for selling, and they actually give you a whole lot of gills too.
Try not to get
That would
lost.
be great for buying a lot of upgrading weapons. Holy water, that's for element status that you have. That's one of the debuffs you have on you. You can get rid of. Yeah, I was about to go into the fight, but yeah, make sure this is where you can actually use shrouds. So make sure to use your shrouds here. Now in the fight, do not go after the center part first. Go after everything else first. Doesn't matter what else you go after. Just make sure you don't go on the first selection. Yeah, focus on the guns first. And then you'll be able, after all the guns are pretty much taken care of, then you can focus on the center. Now here you don't really have to stay in medic for too long. I would probably pick 1 medic and a Ravager and a Commando. Or you can use 2 medics.
Follow my lead.
It's not nearly as bad. Yeah, you probably, for a good amount of time, stay into 2 medics and a Commando. And then once you get your window, then you can switch back to like the 2 Ravagers and the Commando, or 2 Commandos and that.
Take down the enemy.
As you see, I use Tireless Charge here, which is one medic at least. And I believe that medic is Hope.
Shield.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go.
Expression has lightning.
You're gonna swerve.
But yeah, just use like aggression to start off with to help with the stagger gauge. And then the other one, the Relentless Assault, to do a little bit more damage. Now the thing is that once you take care of all the guns and you start going after the center, the stagger gauge will not build until pretty much the end of the fight. When you see him switch, or when you see the ship switch forms, the stagger gauge will actually go up by itself. But until then, you're not going to be able to build the stagger gauge at all. So just keep doing attacks and healing, and
Thanks.
you probably could use Saboteurs, like depending on what you got with the Saboteurs. Probably use something on that. I didn't use anything. I didn't use Intel in this fight. I'm not sure if it does anything or not. It's definitely not going to help build up the stagger gauge. But now that you're lightning as well, you also do have Odin. So if you're in a little bit of trouble, then you can summon Odin. As long as if you use the renewals in the last fight, that they were able to build up. But if you grind in that little area that we were just in, you should be able to get your TP back real quick. And I would do that to have your TP just in case you do need Odin here. But yeah, here in a minute, he should switch forms. Now that we've taken out all the other guns.
Follow my lead.
Surrender now!
Try this on for some.
And then I use some potions just in case. Because I was trying to focus on doing damage on him. So yeah, see, like that, when he switches to that form, you'll see the stagger gauge go up like that, and then you'll be able to push him into a stagger.
Let's
And then
go.
once you push him into a stagger, you'll be able to go into like progression, and then finish him off that way. I probably should have seen it if Impale would work here, but I didn't think about it. He was close to dead anyway. Plus, after I went from the last fight to this fight very quickly, so my brain was still pretty much gone at that point. There we go. But yeah, just keep yourself healed, and we got a workshop and a warrior's wristband for strength. But keep yourself healed and switch between aggression and the other one, and you should be alright. Relentless assault. And you should be alright.
Hope we don't get separated.
And always make sure to take out the other guns first. Like, instead of the first option, make sure it's any other option but the first option. And then aim for the center. But right now we are Saz and Vanille. Nothing to this area. You just got to keep moving forward, get past the cutscene, and just go on to the next areas.
So this is the city of
Really nothing here at all. Not until we get to a couple parts, a couple areas up here.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
Just make your way to the end here to the pod over there on the left,
Riding the Nautilus.
and then take the pod down.
Ooh, it's so tiny.
Last
Are we
call.
allowed to pet it? Oh, I thought I smelled something.
I did not mean to do that. Don't use any shrouds here. You don't need them.
The city.
Alright, so up here we do have somewhat of a mini game. The little chocobo baby that's been with Saz the whole time, you have to search for him. He'll be over here, and then over here at this cart, and then over in the fountain area, inside the fountain area. And then lastly over by a group of chocobos over there to the right.
Look at that.
And then once you find him from there, you'll be able to get a treasure spear here. And that is a weapon for snow. And so the only thing left of this area is just to make it to the next cutscene, which is right up here. And then this is where we should be able to, yeah, this is where we're going to be doing the fight. These guys aren't too bad. I mean, we got the soldiers at first. This is my setup right here. We got some soldiers. Yeah, you could start with Vanille Saboteur. Saz's Ravager. And switch to Slash and Burn. Or double casting, whatever one. Either one should push the stagger gauge to the max. But a lot of these enemies I do avoid except for a couple of these. This one was real easy. It's just one little guy you gotta kill. Just Slash and Burn. You got 5 potions there. So there's nothing over here, but I purposely went this way to get past the enemies. Then I did a U-turn like this to get around the enemies and stick all the way to the left and then go over to the right to avoid those enemies. But yeah, I did that on purpose to avoid those enemies. So it's another Odin. Like I said, you got another Odian. You got Yeah, and that's the stuff that I had to put on Vanille and Saz that I took off earlier. But yeah, he's just basically based on speed. So, switch back and forth between slash and burn and double tap. Use Saboteur to do some defects on them. And of course, stay healed. And be alright. And then we got one more item up here that we can get, and then we got a boss fight. We actually got 2 boss fights coming up. Yeah, I switched to Slash and Burn because Slash and Burn are easy on these guys. They'll wipe them out quick. Slash and Burn will wipe them out quick. Rebel Heart, I think that's for Snow too. A weapon. So use your Shrouds up here as well. And then of course I did the Criterium, got a Jinx for Saz. And a Distoga for Kira, and Death Ward for Vanille. So yeah, use your Shrouds up here. This guy's pretty simple as well. Just stick with Slash and Burn. Try to build up the stagger gauge a little bit. You could probably stay with Slash and Burn if you wanted to. But, of course, you can always switch to Saboteur to do some debuffing on them as well. Daze will work on him. Some bosses, Daze will work on. Some won't, depending, I guess. But, I mean, if you're looking to... Daze is actually very useful if you want to kind of stun him, and when he's stunned, you can switch to like a medic or something and get everybody healed until everybody's healed, and then you go back to the damage to him. But yeah, I was pretty much using Saboteur to help with the stagger gauge as well, and then switch back to the Slash and Burn and do some damage there. Also keep him stunned for a good, until you hit him, so you'll be able to, if your character has pretty good stats, then you're going to be able to do a lot of damage while he's stunned. But speaking of stun, Vanille's got him up in the Blizzaga, so that's good too. What I was also hoping on with the Saboteur was to get Fog on him, but I don't think that works. Obviously, Vanille does not have Impale, so I couldn't use that. In the vanilla version, she actually does. That would have been useful. But yeah, just push him into a stagger, Slash and Burn, and then you'll be able to keep him airborne and do some attacks on him. I almost thought that Vanille did have Impale because of the last boss fight. So I was kind of looking for it for a minute. I'm like, crap, she doesn't have it. Like I said, she has it in the vanilla version though too. So yeah, that does get a little bit confusing. But there we go, we got him. Alright, so up next we got Saz's Eidolon. The Mother Lode, that's a shop too. So I went back and saved. You can actually go back and save before fighting the Eidolon, and that's what I did. I went back and saved, and then just went through the entrance again. So up here, you do want to make sure you stay healed as possible. Start off with Slash and Burn or Underdome, depending. You're not going to be able, I don't think you're going to be able to get any debuff on it, but it will build up the soul thing right there. But normally I would just stick with Slash and Burn, and then as soon as you start losing health, like this Vanille there, then you switch to War and Peace. I was waiting for Seth to do some attacks before switching to War and Peace. But this shouldn't be too hard as long as you stick with those to be able to build up things real quickly.
I owe ya. Oh, you're gonna
But
love
actually,
this.
I don't remember if the Neil died or not. Even if he did, Stabs was able to finish him off. No, okay. So once you fill it up, hit square, and then you got Stabs. That's the end of part 7. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.